What's up, guys? I'm Brevin Harrison, one of the co-creators of Within Cold Stars, the tabletop role-playing game. And today, I want to talk to you a little bit about making characters in Within Cold Stars. Because, of course, this is the first step in any role-playing game, is making your character. So, in Within Cold Stars, players will create characters to engage in role-playing, exploration, and combat. This character is your gateway into the galaxy of Eridanos, and the heart of your gameplay experience as a player. The decisions you make in character creation will give you unique ways of interacting with the world, as well as affecting everything you do in it. So starting out, all characters get 15 health on their torso, arms, and legs, and 10 for the head. And so if you didn't know, Within Cold Stars uses a limb damage system instead of just a singular health stat. So this allows us to have different effects for different limbs being damaged, and we try to simplify that for the NPCs to make things a little bit easier on the DM, but I think the limb damage system provides a lot of unique gameplay. And so for all characters, HP starts at 15 for the torso, arms, and legs, and 10 for the head. This can be modified with our biomutation system or certain perks you can pick in the game, and we'll get to perks here in just a minute. So the first thing you're going to choose for your character is your species. Humans have never laid foot in the cold stars of Eridanos, but the galaxy is home to many advanced life forms that in many aspects are people. Your species gives you unique traits and stat modifiers. So next we have the character level. Character level, if you've played any tabletop RPG or any RPG, this will be familiar. A lot of this will be familiar to you. So your character level is the general ability and experience level of your character. Leveling up your character level gives you a stat point, skill point, and a perk, and we'll get into the specifics of what those are as the video continues. So then we have rank. So these are ranges of character levels. Items, NPCs, and creatures are all separated into ranks that denote value, power level, or rarity. So the different ranks are levels 1 to 3 is novice rank, levels 4 to 9 is journeyman rank, levels 10 to 14 is expert rank, levels 15 to 19 are master rank, level 20 plus is mancer rank. So, and that is the highest rank. Our entire game is balanced from levels 1 to 20, similar to something like D&D. And so you might have a novice gun or a master gun. You might have all of our NPCs and creatures, like I said, are separated into these ranks to determine, when the GM should use them. And so moving on, we have stats. Stats are the core of your character. If you played other tabletop RPGs, you might know these as attributes. Each stat will impact everything you do in the galaxy. Stat checks are one of the primary ways of interacting with things throughout your gameplay, and the modifiers given from stats also augment all other parts of gameplay. Some of our stats are strength, perception, and adaptability. So those first two are probably very familiar to you, but adaptability is a sort of new thing that we've brought into Within Cold Stars. Quite similar to something like Constitution, but it adds a lot of different things than Constitution. It's Constitution plus some other stuff. And I plan on making a video that goes through all the stats and the specific gains and losses from each of them. But moving on to skills. Skills are specialized tasks that through experience you can become better at. Most skills are affected by stat modifiers, and each skill offers a unique way at handling situations and will further cement your role in the party. So some skills are diplomacy, biology, and melee weapons. Diplomacy is obviously going to help you talk to people. Biology gives you access to bioanalysis, which will help handle creatures. And then later on, you get access to biomutations, which is a very, very powerful system that we're very happy with. And I should have talked about this earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in right here. So Within Cold Stars uses a create a class system. It's not quite classless, but you build the class that your character will be. You build the role you'll play in your party through your own decisions with character creation, rather than just saying I'm this class and then maybe picking a subclass. You form your own class with our character creation system. And to further cement this class, we have traits. Traits are distinct quirks of your character that make them a little more realistic. The traits provide benefits as well as drawbacks to change up your play style. For example, of one of our traits, we have Voidborn. So Voidborn, this trait, it adds to your rolls in space, and then it takes away from your rolls when you're out of space. So this character is obviously going to be better at doing things in space, and then worse at doing things on the ground. So these traits give you, positives and negatives to sort of make your character feel a little bit more realistic. And after traits, we have backgrounds. So your background helps determine your goals, cement your character's role, as well as giving you starting equipment, and then just providing background story, of course, for your character. Some of our backgrounds are diplomat, soldier, and bounty hunter. So each of those gives you unique items and gives you a unique background for your character to play. So after backgrounds, we have perks. Perks are feats. If you're familiar with feats from other tabletop RPGs, we have perks, pretty much the same thing. Every level you get a perk. These offer unique passive buffs and abilities, providing more specialized upgrades to add further distinction and augmentation to your character build. So these give you more options on how to interact with the world or modify the ways you already do. Most require certain parameters to be met by your character to use, so you'll need this much in a stat and this much in a skill before you can take this perk. And you get a new perk every character level, and you may start with one or two if you have high adaptability stats. So that's one of the ways our adaptability stat is different than Constitution. It determines, it gives you some extra perks if you have it at high levels, and another thing it does is determine how many secondary skills you get. So there are differences between primary and secondary skills and how they level up. Obviously, primary skills are going to be a bit easier to level up than your secondaries. All characters get 3 primary skills, and then your secondary skills, how many of those you get, is determined by your adaptability stat. That's the biggest difference between it and something like Constitution, because so while it does give you these new secondary skills to start with, it also is all of your almost all of your status effect rolls, because the rationality is that you're adapting. It allows you to adapt to new situations, which include drugs, diseases, and different status effects you might have. You can adapt and overcome those situations. The last thing character creation is faction affiliation. So within Cold Stars is full of factions with detailed lore, and we have different faction conflicts going on in our world, and your faction affiliation determines your loyalties and relationships with these many large groups in our galaxy. There's a reputation system, which determines how different factions will interact with you, and picking a specific faction to be affiliated with will completely change this reputation. And then factions can also be joined throughout your gameplay, through any kind of story situation you might end up in. Obviously, if the party wants to join some group, they definitely can do that. And this is pretty much what character creation looks like. To go back through it real quick, you got species, stats, skills, traits, background, perks, and faction affiliation. So all of these different things change your character story-wise, and then also augment gameplay. So like any good tabletop RPG, we're really trying to weave those two things together, combine our story systems and gameplay systems to provide that role playing game experience. And so that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, listening, all that. Keep an eye out for Within Cold Stars. It's going to be coming in January. And if you want to help us make Within Cold Stars, if you want to help us get things done on it, please donate to our Patreon. Obviously, only if you're able to. Wouldn't want anybody struggling to, give us $5 that they could be using for better things. But thanks for watching. Check out our page on itch.io. Check out our social medias, all linked below.